Hello, music lovers and conversationalists. Welcome to the channel and welcome to tonight's episode, which is another thread video. I was inspired by all the responses that you all gave and your tremendous support in the first thread video here on the Ralstonians Music Report that I thought it's time to do a second one. And for tonight's thread, I have 5 albums that are collaborations, and that's the theme for tonight's thread. I thought it would be fun to share with you between 3 and 5. I feel like that's a good number of albums, so people don't have to go crazy or go overboard. But if you want to show more than that, that's cool as well. But I have 5 blues albums that are all collaborations, and the first one takes us to the year 1967, the fall of 67, September of 67 to be exact, and it is an album that features 3 giants in the blues world, specifically the Chicago blues area, and we have Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and Bo Diddley. 3 legends all got together and played on the album the Super Blues Band. This is the result of 3 enormous talents. 2 of them, Muddy and the Wolf, you can feel the tension in the room as you're listening to the album, and as it says in the write-up that I read online, the Wolf did not back down from Muddy at all, and this is just an incredible listening experience, and I think it's one that anybody that's a fan of the Chicago blues should have in their collection. I'll take this out of the sleeve and show you the track listings quickly on the back, and we have a total of 3 songs on side 1 and 4 on side 2. A lot of the song names I'm sure you'll recognize, and again, this is just an amazing piece of work, and it's even more amazing that Muddy and the Wolf were able to exist in the same room, but being so such big names and talents, and of course Bo Diddley is not any second tier bluesman compared to him, but the tension was high, I guess, between the 2 of them with Muddy and Wolf. But excellent album. Again, this is the Super Blues Band, one that I strongly recommend having in your collection. Next is an album, I guess you could credit this as the first or second album that I ever purchased in terms of blues. This one has, again, 3 giants in the blues world: Albert Collins, Robert Cray, and Johnny Copeland, and this takes us to the year 1985, and it is called Showdown. And this album here is one that is near and dear to my heart, as it has Johnny Copeland on the album, who is one of my top 5, maybe even 3 favorite blues guitarists, and one who I credit a lot for getting me into the blues. I just absolutely love his sound. This is, as I said, an Alligator Records release, and it is coming out in November, I believe the end of November of this year, on a reissue for the 40th anniversary. So I will be doing a special video on that once I get it in the mail, but I'll show you the track listings here, and some really cool pictures. And as you know from watching this channel in the past, Johnny Copeland is the father of Shemekia Copeland, who is one of the best blues singers out there, and my favorite singer in the blues, and one of my top 2 favorite singers. It's her and Elvis Presley are my top 2 favorite singers of all time, so check out Shemekia Copeland. Next we have an album that came out in the fall of 1991, and it features, again, 2 more legends in the name of Buddy Guy and Junior Wells, and it is called Alone in Acoustic. If you want an album that is just pure raw acoustic blues look no further than this one. This one will just blow your mind. It's an Alligator Records release, and it's just gritty blues, acoustic blues at its finest. And it's still in the shrink, but I will get a quick, hopefully non-glare shot of the track listings there, and there's a great picture of Buddy and Junior on the back. A little fact about Junior Wells: he was a mentor to Albert Castiglia, who was one of my favorite modern day bluesmen. Albert played with him for a few years on the road before going out on his own, but there's the track listings for you. And once again, Alone in Acoustic with Buddy Guy and Junior Wells, just an amazing Alligator Records release. Next up, we have a 2017 release by one of the alumni of the John Mayall and the Blues Breakers band, the late great John Mayall. This artist is my favorite of all the guitarists in the John Mayall band from years gone by. And he is one of the hardest working, one of the most talented modern day blues artists out there right now. And his name is Walter Trout. And this is his album called We're All in This Together. And you'll get a better shot there. And this album features a number of big names on here. You open up on side one with the great Kenny Wayne Shepherd, followed by Sonny Landreth on track 2. You have Charlie Musselwhite on track 3, and on track 4 of side 1 you have Mike Zito. And some other big names on here, you have Edgar Winter, you have Joe Bonamassa, and you have John Mayall. I couldn't find where he was here, but John Mayall plays on side D, second to last track before the album wraps up entirely. But this is just an amazing group of talent here, and it is one of my favorite Walter Trout albums, and just a fantastic blues collaboration with so many talented musicians. And there's the list of musicians that are on the album that you may be able to see a little better, but once again on the back as well. And also Walter Trout's son John plays with him on a couple of tracks on the album, so a really jam-packed album in so many ways, and one of the best that I've heard in terms of Walter Trout's. Now, this last album in the thread tonight is my all-time favorite album. It is one that knocked off The Who's Quadrophenia as my all-time favorite album last year. It was one of the biggest albums to come out on the market, and it is Blood Brothers from Mike Zito and Albert Castiglia. And not only are these two modern day blues rock legends the main focus on this album, but you have some phenomenal producers on it in Joe Bonamassa and Josh Smith, and also lending his songwriting skills to the album. You have Tinsley Ellis, who wrote the song Tooth and Nail, which is track number 3. And there's Zito and Castiglia on the back, with the track listings on top. And this, of course, is on the Gulf Coast Records label that is owned by Mike Zito. This, as I said, is my all-time favorite album. It's just got everything you could want in a blues album and a blues rock album. It's just an amazing adventure for your ears and all senses from beginning to end. So those are the 5 collaborations that I have for this thread. I'd love to see what you all have in store for 5 collaborations or 3 to 5 collaborations in any of your collections. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.